So it hits the ascendant this year, and Saturn hits her ascendant 18 and 19. January 18, July 8, August 18, and October, November 19. So she's still right, Saturn hovering around her ascendant. Well, once you get past here, Saturn's hovering around. So like when I think back, when a relationship broke at the midheaven, probably when Saturn hit the midheaven, there were probably disruptions, cracks in the relationship with her parents, which didn't split up till she got to 13. Till I came up to the ascendant. But here she's at the ascendant. And where am I going to be? What am I going to do? It hits the old nerve of when parents split up and mom got sick and I had to leave. It's that whole space that happened the last time. Here I am now. Where am I? What am I doing? So January 19, 2018, international move. So she changed countries. So that was in January. And that's the first hit of Saturn on the ascendant. Then went on, we don't have anything from there explaining all the specifics or details. You know, with all the Aries and the Mercury and the Virgo, there's going to be lots of stories, a lot of diversity going on. So still she's wondering who she is. When Saturn's on your ascendant, it's the identity crisis. You're not going to get status. You're not going to get better status, better position, better accomplishment. You're feeling relaxed. Sorry, that's why I didn't turn it off. Okay. So there's still the identity crisis. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? She wants to be the writer. Her question was, will I be able to maintain a steady income as a writer this year? Or in general, what's my financial outlook? So the 8th house concerned about resources, that's valid. You know, that's a valid question. That's her basic question. How do I get by? What do I got to do? I don't want to owe money to people. I'm going to have to do this. So she has that nature. But Saturn on the ascendant, what am I going to do? What's my commitment? Where am I? There's still, it's opposing the descendant. It's there. Still, where do I fit in? So she went in January last year and made a big move internationally. And I believe that's just changed, and she's moved back again just recently this year. So Saturn's still on her ascendant, so it's not going to solve the career things. When Saturn hits the ascendant, you know, I don't fit in. I don't know, who am I? It's a type of despondency or feeling kind of depressed or down. And one doesn't fit in. What one's going to do? One feels inadequate consistently. Well, this has been going on for the last several years. Saturn going through the 12th house, just as the parents' relationship was ending and they split up. So her world that she sat with her boyfriend or whatever, it broke up, and it's been responding, and she's trying to figure where to go, how to replace, what do I do, what am I going to do next? But what I'm doing is not enough. Because that attitude's there, you've used up the seniority. Saturn's been above the rise for 15 years. She saw what she did from it. She got her degree and her master's in that process. But now she's feeling she hasn't used it that much. Or maybe she has. But at the same time, being on one's own or being where am I going? These issues are all there. And if someone comes into her life right now, they got to deal with her Saturn stuff. Nobody's going to want to really do that. So sometimes some people can, usually this is more about, where am I going? Now, this is the whole personal growth phase of Saturn. You're not just, again, as she grew up in the family she grew up in, then it split up, then she went to Greece to high school. She went to another country, started getting other influences. She didn't fit into where she grew up from. Now she doesn't fit into the world she lived in for the last 15 years. Or 14 years. And she's trying to think, well, where am I going? What's next? Where am I going to go? What's next? So the concern is about, can I make a steady income writing? Well, making steady income from writing, that's a difficult challenge at most times, but at the same time, the idea of fixed income or stable income, it's a concern, but she's in her own adaptable way. I think, I'm thinking with the Saturn going through, Saturn's going to go down through it. It's going to oppose the sun in 23. So in 4 years, 4.5 years, 4 years going to be opposing the sun. She's going to feel hemmed in. And the last time that happened, the opposing of the sun, was in 94, when she quit high school and went to Australia. So it's hard to know if she wouldn't move again. Or where am I going to be next? It's still those type of changes. She's still not, like if she said, well, I better settle for this relationship, she would not want to be in it in a few years, or like time's going by, what am I going to do next? And then it's going through this whole first quadrant of personal growth. So the best thing you can do when you're feeling inadequate is telling you what's missing. Something's missing. What am I going to do? And she's in the classes now. So this is Saturn on the ascendant is the perfect time before the ascendant, a year before, year or two before, a year or two after. It's the perfect time to add astrology and have it clearly there to providing guidelines as to what one can do. And then doing a session, it's a perfect place to come in and talk to someone about what to do, to start working on themselves, not on where they fit in. This is not her strong suit. The strong suit is working on where she fits in, or where she's aligned. Now she has something to build up in herself. So when Saturn conjunct her sun, she built up her master's degree in art therapy. Now Saturn's below, she's going to be getting her, she'll know all of her astrology, and this she's added something else. So that's a whole other thing. But there's still an idea that this is a long time. This is from 1919 to 2027, 27, 28. So this is 9 years. And this is a time where she's supposed to be studying and adding and learning new things. Well, that's a long time. She's trying to solve things in the world, and you be so busy where I'm fitting in, what I'm going to do, where do I go? But really, my advice in looking at her, I think, well, she's probably going to have to go back to school in some way and add some skills. So she's got the Master's of Arts. She got the Master's of Art Therapy. She got the astrology. Well, maybe she would go and add a psychological quality add to it, to work with psychology, having the astrology. Well, with that, she's super equipped. Or maybe she goes so this point of studying and finding teachers and learning, not because she wants to, because she's not good enough where she is, or it's not enough where she is. She's a very capable writer, so she's good. That's not the problem. The problem is it's not enough. Something more is needed. There's more depth, there's more content needed for this. So she's going down into who am I? What are my values? How do I express myself? She's having to figure out who she is for the second time around. First time around was leaving mom. Second time around was leaving the boyfriend and what she thought her world would be, and having to work on her own world right now. So she needs teachers, new environments, places where she's being challenged and having to grow personally. So astrology is good. Some physical activity is good. Some dancing, something where you're moving or being physical, that's good. But the role she's going to be playing in the society and the jobs she's going to get, it's not going to be anything that's going to be satisfying her. Okay. So we see the question, we don't know exactly the answer to it yet. I'm still puzzling around it. With Neptune squaring her sun and moon, sun, Venus, and Mars, what's real? She knows she has to do something, but what? Which choices? What's real? I think writing for her, with her Mercury and all the planets in Virgo in the 8th house, the psychologically perceptive, and the moon, Jupiter in the 3rd house, writing's perfect for her. But just what to write? So for sure, she's writing with astrology, but that's not enough. That's a small niche. To have a career as a writer, you're not going to have a career as an astrology writer. That can be one piece of a career. There's other things to learn. So we get from the Saturn cycle, there's other things to learn. When Saturn opposes Saturn, she sets up a huge business now, she's going to have trouble with it in a couple of years. So she's not meant to have the big business. She's meant to be doing anything that's allowing her time to develop herself and grow and working where she can to get things go along with it. So I'm sure writing could be a big part of it. But it's not, one thing is not the solution for her. It's a number of things. The main direction of having to study, add more to build herself up more at this age, at this time, is really important because she can build up her depth and her knowledge and her confidence and build up her understanding until it hits the IC the next time. And that's the motivation in 2028. That's when she gets motivated to really build up the cycle of her life, to build up her peak of career, which she'll get up to in 2042, 2041, 42. And she said, so when she's older, she's going to have a very high status. By then, she'll have the Canada pension, old age pension, other things kick in, and she'll be able to get by anyways, without having to perhaps work so hard to get by. But she has Neptune square oppose the sun, square the moon, square the sun, square the moon, oppose Mars. She's an inherent confusion. Where do I belong? What do I want? How am I going to get money? What do I got to do? Who's a friend? Who's a lover? Where am I aligned? This puzzle is there. So with that puzzle there, that's so what am I going to do for her? She's coming into a mode where she has to think for herself. And she's doing so because she's feeling, when she feels depressed or down, feeling moon opposed Pluto, I can't go back there, I can't go there, what am I going to do? She's being forced by her insecurity to have to stretch new muscles and build up new insights. And if she's going to have to build up new insights, very likely I'd be thinking that she's going to have to go towards maybe put another degree together. She got 8, 9 years ago to do a degree part-time. Or she could back up and get another degree in psychology with a couple of years because she's already got her credits. And then she might be able to get a PhD in something else. She got lots of room. So being a professional student, that's quite possible. Being studying and doing that. But that's the healing area, the studying and the learning and the growing. Anything she would do, if it's not teaching or anything, it's something she could just do. It's not enough. If she has a straight job, she's going to have to be getting some studies and some courses to make her feel there's some meaning in it. There's something she's struggling with. So she's worried more about this class than the job or the relationships around her. Okay, so we've got the main direction to build up the content, to build up knowledge, to get exposed to new things. So that not because she wants to, just because she can't stay where she is. Saturn's on the ascendant. You can't stay where you are. It's not working. I got to make something new. What is it? If I'm going to have to start new, I can't just start with all my skills. I'm going to have to add some new ones. Use what you can to get by, but add the new ones and build it. And the more she adds on, the more potential the more seeds and potential she's getting that will build up through the last half of her life, which are going to be her respected and acknowledged years. Okay, so we got a general sense of this. The direction, personal growth. That the opposition to the sun is coming to her. It's not what she wants to do. But to set up business and set up things for the midheaven and everything now, it's not boding well with the sun. It's not long-term boding. It's so easy to take things and get disappointed with it. But I'm out of here again. I'm moving again. Where am I going? And another 8 or 9 years goes by. So 8 or 9 years, she's looking for 50s, in her 50s, looking at 60s. So those years are her more positive years than the years before 50. But really, the restrictions that come now for the next 9 years are really the most positive. If she studies and adds more depth, she becomes invincible. Really, the past doesn't matter, and that new part. So if she's wanting to be writing, what does she have to learn to go further? What does she have to take it further? Does she have to learn how to write books? Does she have to learn how to write news or write? Does she have some books to write? Does she have some things to learn? She has new content to add. I think possibly a psychology degree would really reinforce the art therapy, the psychology, the astrology. That's a really wonderful package. But it could also be a lot of people at the ascendant also really often begin their spiritual life. I'm not figuring out what's it mean. There's the process of going within because the outside is frustrating. It gets enhanced. So sometimes spiritual study can come along during this time, like regular meditating or chanting or things to stabilize the mind. Her mind's good. Her emotions are all over the place. But the emotions seduce the mind, and then she acts on them and it gets confused. But it's not the writing that's confused. It's not, her Mercury is well set up to be going at this. My take on this at this point. When I'm doing this, I'm not backing up. I know everybody. I've done everybody's charts before, but I really don't remember because I've done too many charts. So I'm just doing this clear from the chart, from the techniques, and from the information we have to try and build up a texture of meaning of relevance. So,